टाइम पे जब एक स्पीकर बोल रहा होगा वो उसी की तरफ रखना है.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Pushti Gupta, Courtmaster of this court. Am I audible?
ठीक है. रिस्पॉन्ड करिए वहाँ पे तो पता चले. कह रहे हमारी आवाज नहीं आ रही, हम देख वो है इनका.
So can we start the proceedings?
Yes, Mr.
Who is representing the prosecution? Team 526.
Yes, sir. We are representing.
So you can open your argument. Tell me what is your case.
Team 526 is for prosecution and Team 565 is for defense.
Defense. So prosecution will start. Prosecution will open their argument.
Can I get a minute to introduce the judges?
Okay.
So we have here Mr. Yogesh Saxena and Ms. Sunita Arora, two judges. So let me introduce Mr. Yogesh Saxena. He has been into practice from the last 27 years. He has been practicing mainly in criminal side with specialization in NDPS cases, British High Commission, French Embassy, Israel High Commission. He has successfully defended many Indian, foreign, national and companies. Many of his judgments are reported. He has participated in the seminar organized by CRCL, New Delhi. Thank you. And next judge is our Ms. Sunita Arora. She has been into practice from the last 16 years. And she's mainly practicing in criminal side. She has handled many panels, including Delhi High Court Legal Services Authority, MPFC, and many of her judgments are reported. Thank you. So we have the brief rules of the moot court competition has been displayed here. Can you see them? I have shared the screen.
No, ma'am, it is not visible.
It's not visible.
Ma'am, although the team is thorough with the rules, we can proceed.
Okay. Still go through them once.
Sure.
I'll read them over to you. Each team will have a maximum of 30 minutes to present their oral submissions, including time for rebuttal. Maximum of 5 minutes can be reserved for the rebuttal, which can only be reserved for any one speaker. Team are requested to notify the division of time between the two speakers as well as time for rebuttal at the beginning. No speaker will be permitted to address the court for more than 20 minutes. Teams will be intimated on every 20 and 30 minutes. Judges at their discretion may extend oral argument time up to a maximum of 10 minutes per team. Teams will strictly maintain anonymity during the complete session and also while referencing to any case laws using present now option. At the time when one participant is speaking, others are expected to keep their microphones on mute.
Ma'am, can you explain the 7th point?
Yes, you can't disclose the name of your college.
Sure, ma'am. About the reference of cases.
Yes, you can share your screen if you have any case laws regarding regarding the moot court problem.
Sure, ma'am.
After taking permission from the judges.
Sure. Ma'am, the division of time would be the first speaker would speak for 14 minutes, then my co-speaker would speak for 15 minutes, and the time for rebuttal is 1 minute.
All right.
14, 15, 1.
And 26. Right. And 565? Team 565, please let us know how much time will each speaker take. Okay.
565, they are not audible.
Yes, 565.
They are not audible.
Yes, sir, they are not audible.
Yes. I think he is addressing, but his voice is not coming. Somebody will have to tell him that he is not audible.
So we are coordinating.
We are coordinating with them, sir.
Okay.
So till then, prosecution can start.
Sure, ma'am. Can you stop presenting the screen
Yeah,
if
sure.
possible?
Sure, sure.
May it please, ma'am, you can start the time also.
So tell me, what is the case of the prosecution?
May it please the court, this is prosecutor number one, representing the side of state in the case of.
Yeah, we know that. Okay, you come with the case straightforward. What is the case of the prosecution?
So the case, in the case of State versus Samir and others, some facts are in favor of the prosecution, which are presented as follows. A certain intel was received by the Special Cell of Delhi Police, Your Honor, on 24th Feb of 2015. And as per the intel, the Special Cell Police of New Delhi raided the train, the General Coach number 2 of Farakka Express at Old Delhi railway station. And it was alleged that the certain currency which was retrieved by the accused, the 500 fake Indian currency notes, were going to be used for some criminal activity in the country. Your Honor, it was later found out that the currency is going to be used to execute a bomb blast on Indian Army convoy in Pulwama on 15th August of 2015. Your Honor, the investigation was later handed over to the NIA, and the NIA did an impeccable job in apprehending.
When did the information was received?
So the information was received on 24th February 2015.
Whether in the morning or in the evening, what action was taken?
Sir, the time has not been mentioned by the police.
Okay.
And
What
sir,
action was taken thereafter on the receipt of the information?
yes, sir. Sir, as per the intel, the General Coach number 2 of Farakka Express was raided on the next day, 25th February, in the morning, 10:55 a.m.
Okay.
Sir, according to that, 2 individuals were arrested. Your Honor, the individual was carrying fake Indian currency notes, and the whole amount was 10 lakh rupees. The denomination of note was 2,000. Sir, as per that, the police detained the persons, and after going thoroughly with the notes and checking and ensuring, according to the procedural format, that if the notes are fake, they detained the persons by charging under sections 120B, 489B, and 489C of IPC.
It was recovered from one person or for 2 persons?
So from 2 persons separately. One person was carrying 250 notes, and the other person was also carrying 250 notes.
Okay.
So it is my duty to humbly submit to you that after so many developments in the field of law, and we have a robust mechanism for counter-terrorism, many people like the accused dare to threaten the peaceful existence of the Indian citizens. And sir, no matter what the judgment would say today, Your Honor, the judgment should have an exemplary value to all the people who aim to do such acts
You will
in
come
the
to
name of
judgment.
sensitizing
First to
people.
come to the facts. What happened thereafter?
Sir,
After the currency was seized, both of them were apprehended. What happened thereafter?
Indeed.
Come to that. It will come later on.
Your Honor, after that, after the apprehension of those persons, certain interrogation and investigation was done. It was found out that a person named Kalu Mama, a person named Peter, and a person named Sohail is also involved in the conspiracy. The conspiracy was to execute a bomb blast in Pulwama, as I said before. And as per the details of the conspiracy, the police done their investigation. They also raided the house of Peter, who was the accused number 4, but he was absconding at the time of the raid. Also, sir, after some time, the investigation was handed over to NIA as per a notification under Exhibit 4 of the mood problem. Under the Exhibit 4, the investigation was handed over to NIA, and NIA further detained the person Kalu Mama for being part of the conspiracy and for being the main link of the conspiracy for providing the fake Indian currency notes to the accused Samir and Monu. So actually, that was the person who provided the fake Indian currency to execute the bomb blast in the first place. The person Kalu, Your Honor, was actually being instructed by accused number 5, Sohail, who was the main mastermind of the conspiracy, and he was getting instructions from Lashkar-e-Taiba from Pakistan and Bangladesh. The whole conspiracy was revealed when NIA done the investigation thoroughly and extensively, Your Honor.
Was anything recovered from Kalu, accused number 3?
Indeed,
Your accused number 4, Peter.
Indeed, Your Honor. Your Honor, accused number 4, Peter, was found absconding, but later it was discovered that he committed suicide he was found dead after being poisoned. He was found dead in SK Hospital of Rajasthan on 20th June 2015. Your Honor, nothing was recovered from Peter. Also, Your Honor, from Kalu Mama, certain information, certain SIM cards, 2 mobile phones of Oppo, and a sealed pack mobile phone of Apple made was recovered from Kalu Mama. certain bank statements were also recovered from Kalu Mama, which clearly showcase that there were transaction of money from his account to some unknown account. Sir, also during the investigation from Kalu Mama, certain certain phone numbers was also retrieved, and as per the CDRS report, the call detail records of those numbers, it was found out that Kalu was in connection with accused number 1 Samir, accused number 2 Monu, accused number 4 Peter, and accused number 5 Sohail during the whole conspiracy.
What is the material to show that, okay, accused Sohail, who is accused number 5, he was connected with some terrorist organization? Whether there is any material to show that, okay, he was linked with some terrorist organization?
Sir, the accused Sohail has been found absconding on the 22nd June of 2015. Actually, he crossed the border. He infiltrated the Bangladesh border. Sir, Your Honor, the location of Malda and the Bangladesh border is of very material here. The actual problem here is the distance between both the borders is very negligible. Any person could commit a crime and excuse me.
Go ahead.
Any person could commit a crime and cross the border to go to the other side of the border. It is alleged, Your Honor, it is not extensively proved, but it is clear that while the accused Samir, Monu, and Kalu were working for an organization which was working to sensitize people against the malpractices government, they also received fundings from Pakistan and Bangladesh. It is alleged, but it would be surely proved later, Your Honor.
What section you have invoked in this case?
Your Honor, the accused have been invoked with the sections 120B, 121, 120B, 201, 489B, 489C of IPC, and sections 16, 17, 18, and 20 of UAPA, Your Honor.
So what do you think? All the allegations have been proved? Ingredients of all the offences have been proved?
Indeed, Your Lordship. Your Honor, the ingredients
from the evidence and record.
As per the evidence, Your Honor, the ingredients of the conspiracy have been thoroughly proved by the prosecution, by the NIA.
Find out from the record of the case.
Your Lordship,
the case is also there, na? Find out from the case what is the material, what is the evidence, which witness says what.
Indeed. Your Honor, the call detail record.
The paper book of the case, show me what is the material.
Your Honor, as per the information received, there were many call detail records which were retrieved. It is mentioned in the Exhibit 2 chart sheet. There were many call detail records which were retrieved by the individuals, and Kalu Mama's call detail record clearly showcased that he has been in contact with Samir, Monu, and Peter and Sohail. All these persons who were alleged to be part of this conspiracy.
Only CDRs are there, no all interceptions are there, no transcripts.
Your Lordship, I have another point to make. Actually, all the individuals, actually Samir and Monu, these two individuals were living in Nuh district of Haryana, and the alleged place where the conspiracy took place is Kaliachak, Malda. Your Honor, the distance between both these places is exceeding 1400 kilometers. The distance is of material here. There is no tourist attraction in Malda. Even then, the Samir and Monu, the accused Samir and Monu, made several visits there without any explanation. They also switched off their phones while they were there. They were working for a sensitization program, but the sensitization program was just for the face of it, and they were fulfilling their ulterior motives of fulfilling this conspiracy behind it. CDR's report shows the same. Also, sir, there in the chart sheet there are many records which showcase that Samir and Monu were working for the side of Kalu Mama for the transaction of fake Indian currencies before also. They also mentioned that it is very comparatively safe to travel in the general compartment because they had been doing this task for before also.
Anything else?
Your Honor, with respect to to address the side that to prove the conspiracy, the counsel would like to produce certain aspects of the case with respect to what is actually the essentials of a conspiracy.
Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, firstly, to note that there must be certain agreement between the conspirators. There should be a meeting of mind. And as of this case, there is a meeting of mind. There is meeting of mind of this conspiracy to do an illegal act, which is executing the bomb blast. Secondly, Your Honor, the prosecution could only prove the agreement between such parties to do an illegal act, and it is enough to establish the liability under criminal conspiracy, Your Honor. Also, Your Honor, lastly, the agreement could be proved on the basis of circumstantial evidence. Your Honor, it is very rare that direct evidence is proved in this case, as conspiracy is hatched in a private environment and it is not possible to retrieve the actual direct evidence in this case. Circumstantial evidences would be taken use of to prove the links between the parties. Your Honor, the prosecution has relied on the case of Pratap Bhai Hamir Bhai Solanki versus State of Gujarat to verify the essentials of this case. Kindly perusal to para number 3 of the memorial, Your Honor.
Okay.
Furthermore, Your Honor, firstly, to establish the aspect of agreement between the accused, the prosecutor would like to humbly say that as mentioned in the prosecuting witness second statement, Iqbal Khan's statement under Exhibit 6, it has been clearly mentioned that he had helped, that he was part of the sensitization program, and Samir Monu and Kalu were working collectively to raise funds. The funds were also received from Pakistan and Bangladesh, as I mentioned before, Your Lordship. Furthermore, Your Honor, the distance between Bangladesh border and Kalichak Malda is of material here, as I mentioned before. He crossed the border after committing the offense, and he found out to be the mastermind of the plan, Your Honor. NIA through this investigation found out the call detail records, and the call detail records were also validated by CRTN. They were retrieved from internet service providers and presented as they were after analyzing the same. Your Honor, there are many elements which prove the connection between the accused. Samir also made a trip to twice made a trip to Kaliachak from No district, which is 1400 kilometers away, as I mentioned before, on 25th and 24th and 25th July in 2014, and secondly to 25th and 26th September 2014. It is very much evident, Your Honor, that the visit was made to nurture the conspiracy. Furthermore, before 20 days of their arrest, in the General Coach number 2 of Farakka Express, they were also found to be located in the Bardhaman and Birpur district of West Bengal. That because they were conspiring and they made the trip from Malda to Pulwama later, they were found to be there, and it is quite suspicious because it validates their involvement in this conspiracy. Your Honor, lastly, it is very much important to note that in the charge sheet, it has been mentioned that Kalu Mama and Sohail used phrases like "Dulhan ko sajane ka waqt aa gaya hai," "Dulhan ki vidai ka waqt badalna hai," which they had received as blast codes with instructions from Pakistan and Bangladesh. Your Honor, the defense would not be able to justify such phrases because it is very evident in what context these phrases were said. Your Honor, the prosecution humbly submits that the prosecution has submitted all the evidences which is enough to validate the links between the conspirators. The link and the criminal intent has been clearly justified by the side of prosecution. Hence, it is a humble request of the prosecution to hold liable the accused for hatching a conspiracy to threaten the security of Indian citizens and for disturbing the economic stability by using large sum of fake Indian currency notes. That is section 120B read with sections 121, 123, 201, 489B and 489C of IPC. Your Honor, further coming to the issue pertaining to section 201 of IPC, Your Honor, it is very prevalent that the parties involved in a conspiracy would falsify some facts for the sake of other conspirators, or they would disappear the potential evidence which could hinder the investigation process. Your Honor, section 201 speaks with respect to the same. Your Honor, to prove the liability under section 201, the counsel would like to make some statements. Firstly, Your Honor, a conspiracy is hatched in a private environment, as I said before, and the accused used the same thing to eliminate potential evidence in the case.
So what evidence was eliminated?
Your Honor, Kalu Mama, accused number 3. Before the NIA reached Malda, Kalu Mama eliminated all the incriminating substance against Sohail, who is the mastermind of the conspiracy. It has been found in the charge sheet under Exhibit 2 that Kalu Mama destroyed all the incriminating substance that could have been used to hold Sohail liable for his actions. But he crossed the border, and Kalu Mama also helped Sohail to cross the border at night, which has been authenticated by an individual who is an independent witness named Shaurak Khan in the charge sheet, my lord, under Exhibit 2. So Kalu Mama also eradicated all the evidences which could be used to hold the responsibility of the accused. Moreover, there was a conspiracy to destroy the evidence, Your Lordship, with respect to the case of the accused. Rupinder Singh, who is the Superintendent of Police, who led the investigation in Malda, has stated the same. Your Lordship, that was pertaining to the liability of accused under 201. Your Honor, at last the prosecution humbly submits that the conviction under 201 could be maintained independently, and all the acts of the accused in this case are to screen the mastermind Sohail, and it justifies their intent behind impeding the investigation process, Your Lordship. Your Honor, the NIA has left no stone unturned during the investigation. NIA has worked tirelessly for acquiring more and more incriminating evidence, but Your Honor, the accused have not been left out for destroying this evidence also. Now, Your Honor, it is our duty to justify the efforts of NIA that these accused should be convicted for hatching a conspiracy with the intent of bleeding our nation by attacking directly on its security, Your Honor. Your Honor, I humbly request.
What is the material to show that they have committed offence under section 16 of the UT?
Your Honor, Your Honor, my co-prosecutor would be the right person to address the aspect, and I would like to hand over my speech to him now. Further, my co-prosecutor would be dealing with the second and third issue. Your Honor, it was an honor and pleasure to argue in front of this court. Thank you. Much obliged.
Your Honor, in furtherance of what my co-prosecutor has stated, the accused were indeed trying to bleed the nation by thousand cut by attacking its pride, that is the Indian Army. Although, Your Honor, by the prompt action of NIA, investigation agency, and the police, the conspiracy was derailed from head to end. With this, Your Honor, I would like to continue further my argument on the issue 2, that is whether the accused are liable under section 489B and C of Indian Penal Code. Your Lordship, to attract the conviction under section 489B and C of IPC, three ingredients must be fulfilled. First is the selling and buying or receiving from any person, FICN. Second is that the accused person should found in the currency should be found in the possession of the accused person. And the third is that they have knowledge or intention that they are using fake Indian currency note as a genuine note. All the three ingredients have been fulfilled in this section if we peruse to the facts of this case. Your Lordship, it has been stated by my co-counsel that they are hatching the conspiracy, and the conspiracy is to bleed the nation by thousand cut.
You just tell me one thing: when these two persons were apprehended, when any public witnesses were joined?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For their search.
Yes, sir.
They have been examined as a witness.
No, sir. They have not examined by witness by the police. However, they have signed the seizure memo and the arrest memo.
Who signed the seizure memo? The accused persons.
No, sir. The one independent witness and one H.C. Ram Kumar.
Okay.
Yes.
H.C. means head constable.
Yes, sir.
Head constable. He is not a public witness. He is a police official. I'm asking about whether any efforts were made to join public witnesses because they were apprehended at the railway station.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, one Ravi Kumar, independent witness is signed on the seizure memo and the arrest memo of witness of accused Samir and Monu.
Okay.
Yes. Your Lordship, further to elucidate
where they were arrested, in the special cell or at the police station or at the railway station?
Your Lordship, they were detained at the railway station, Farakka, Delhi railway station, old Delhi railway station. Yes. Your Lordship, to elucidate my argument, that is, first, they have received the money from Kalu Mama, that is accused 3, which I come to later part. The second is that they found in possession, which is when the police raided, they found in possession of currency note. As my co-prosecutor stated, that the police recovered 500 notes of fake Indian currency, which amounts to rupees 10 lakh, and this is a huge sum of money which the accused are carrying. The third, Your Lordship, third point is very important here: the knowledge or intention. Your Lordship, kindly please refer to the paragraph number 25 and citation number 23 of the memorial of the accused. Lordship, in the case of Deepak Bhai Jagdish Bhai Patel, 2019 case, the Honorable Supreme Court, while referring to the case of Bachchan Singh, stated that when the accused are found in the custody of such a large amount of money, the intention has to be deduced that they are carrying those money for any other purposes, not for genuine purposes. Further, Your Lordship, if we peruse to section 28 of IPC, the explanation 2 of the IPC clearly stated that when the nature of the counterfeiting currency is such a high that it is very impossible to differentiate between a real currency and fake currency, the burden of proof, that is the onus, is upon the accused to show that they are do not carry any intention or any ill will to use the currency as genuine currency. This two combination shows that, your lordship, that the intention, that the accused have certain intention to use the fake Indian currency as genuine currency and to use it against the state of India. Further, your lordship, to buttress my argument, your lordship, the police found fake Indian currency in the secret cavity, which they found while traveling to Pulwama in Farakka Express. Lordship, they stated to police in preliminary interrogation that it is comparatively safe. Why they use the term comparatively safe? This shows that they have done this task earlier also. Further, they also stated that they used to get 10% commission on each trip from Malda to Pulwama. The third thing, your lordship, is that the CFSL report number 123 of 2015 clearly stated that this is the high quality fake currency, which means that it is very, very difficult to differentiate between a real currency and fake currency. Your lordship, these facts of the case clearly establish the ill will behind the accused to use the fake Indian currency as real currency. Further, your lordship, as my co-counsel has argued, and I would like to emphasize here also, the CDR clearly shows the movement of the accused from
You just tell me one thing. Was there any recovery or discovery of any fact, material, or document pursuant to the statement of the accused persons recorded during the course of the custody?
Indeed, lordship.
Other party or colleague has already argued. You come to that. Okay, what is the discovery of any fact or material pursuant to their statement, which was recorded by the official of the police officials or by the NIA officials?
Indeed, your lordship. Your lordship, in furtherance to your question, please peruse to paragraph number 39, citation number 36 and 37. Your lordship, in the case of Ismail versus Emperor, and further which is reinstated in the case of Mehboob Ali
It's a judgment on its own facts. First, you have to come to the facts of this case. What is the recovery or discovery in this case?
Indeed, your lordship. Your lordship, in the present case, when police apprehended accused Samir and Manu, they tell about their co-accused, that is Kalu, Peter, and Sohail. Your lordship, and when police further investigated, when police investigated further about the accused Kalu, Peter, and Sohail, they found out that they are trying to wage war against the state of India. Your lordship, the statement which is given by the accused Samir and Manu will attack section 27, because if we see the law established by the Supreme Court in the Mehboob Ali versus State of Rajasthan, they stated that the information which is received to police by the accused of the other co-accused in the police custody will attract section 27. Further, your lordship, the statement, when NIA apprehended accused, when NIA apprehended
Just
accused,
tell me one thing: how it can be admissible against the co-accused? Only
your
to the
lordship,
extent of recovery or discovery of any fact or material. Only to that extent is that admissible. Rest of the contents are totally inadmissible in law.
Indeed, your lordship. When Samir and Manu give statement about Kalu and Manu, the new fact discovered that they are carrying this FICN notes to wage war against the state of India. This, your lordship, is the new statement, because when we peruse to secret information which is received to police by Guddu Singh, he only stated that they are carrying fake Indian currency note. Police is unknown whether for what purpose they are trying to use the fake Indian currency note, your lordship.
Whether any act was committed under section 16 of the act?
Your lordship, I will be coming on that issue on a later part. But as of now, I will be dealing the statement of the accused Kalu, which he give to police. Your lordship, when NIA apprehended
Kalu will not take you anywhere.
Sorry,
the statement of the Kalu, you cannot prove the ingredient of the offence under section 16, 17, 18, and 20 of the act.
Indeed, your lordship.
You have to have some independent material.
Indeed, your lordship. But your lordship, here I would like to I'm pressing the statement of Kalu, because the statement of Kalu will attract section 27 of Indian Evidence Act. Because when NIA apprehended Kalu, he tells about his plan of bombing the Indian Army convoy on 15th August, and for the same, when NIA asked him as to where about they are planning to bombing, so he prepared the sketches. When NIA prepared the sketches with the help of Kalu Mama, in the presence of independent witness. So as we know that as the section 3 of the Indian Evidence Act defined fact, the subsection 2 defined that any mental condition of which any person is conscious, this will also affect, your lordship, the discovery as to place of bombing will also attract section 27 of the Indian Evidence Act. And when police investigated the house of Sohail, they found that accused Kalu, as my co-counsel stated, that accused Kalu has destroyed all the evidence related to that, and with respect to Sohail, Kalu helped Sohail to cross the border, to infiltrate to Bangladesh. This clearly shows that they are trying something nasty and something big against the state of India. Further, your lordship, I would like to transfer my concentration on issue number 3, that is whether the accused are liable under section 16, 17, 18, 20 of UAPA. Your lordship, if we see the UAPA Act, section 15 has been added to UAPA with the 2013 amendment, and the word that is economic security has been added to the UAPA. Why the word economic security has been added? It is very well known fact that the fake Indian currency like hawala and some money laundering are the primary source to raise a fund for any terrorist activity in any nation, and India is no exception to it. There are various examples. We can refer to various examples which clearly establishes that fake Indian currency note and money laundering and hawala are the main reason to raise fund for to wage war, to do any terrorist activity against the state of India. Your lordship, for the same, as my co-counsel and I have clearly establishes their criminal intent, and for the same they are liable under section 16 for destroying the economic security of the India. And further, your lordship, as my co-counsel has stated, that they have that one of the accused, Sohail, has a close tie with the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and Lashkar-e-Taiba is a deemed terrorist organization under the UAPA Act, Schedule number 5, entry number 5, and they are working for the Lashkar-e-Taiba to bleed the nation by 1,000 cut, and to destroy the pride of India, that is Indian Army, and for the same should be liable under section 20 of UAPA. Further, your lordship, as has been stated in the case of Shabir Sheikh versus state of Madhya Pradesh, in with respect to UAPA, that where the amount of confiscated FICN is of such large quantity that their intention has to be presumed from that. The same happened in this case also, your lordship. 10 lakh rupees has been recovered from the accused, and which shows that they have certain ill will toward the nation of India, which if NIA could not have apprehended the accused, then they would certainly use this money to blast for bomb blasting the Indian Army convoy 15th August, which must be a dark day for this country, your lordship. With this, your lordship, and further, your lordship, to convict the accused under economic security, the legislature has enacted the Investigation of High Quality Counterfeit Indian Currency Offence Rule 2013. The objective behind is to stabilize the economic, to derail the parallel economy which is standing against the actual economy of the India. With this, your lordship, I would wrap up my argument, and it is my honor to argue in front of this court. With this, your lordship, I request you to may I move on to prayer.
Okay, no problem. Go ahead.
Prayer. Wherefore, in the light of the facts stated, issue raised, argument advanced, and authority cited, it is most humbly prayed and implored before this honorable court that it may be graciously pleased to convict the accused Samir, Monu, and Kalu of all the charges under section 120B, 201, 489B and C, and of Indian Penal Code 1860, and under section 16, 17, 18, 20 of UAPA, and pass any other order, direction, and relief that it may deem fit in the best interest of justice, equity, and good conscience. For this act of kindness, the state shall duty bound forever. Much obliged, Your Lordship.
Thanks, prosecution, for winding up on time. Team 565, defense, you may proceed now with the permission of the judges.
Yes, you can proceed.
Yes.
Am I audible, sir?
But you are
Yes,
audible,
you are.
but you are not on the screen.
Please switch on your camera.
So, Your Lordship, we are trying to remove our defect. Your Lordship, we are trying to remove our audible defects, sir.
You are audible, but you are
Am
not
I
visible
audible,
on the
sir?
screen.
Your Lordship, may I proceed on?
Technical team will have to check it up. What is the issue? Why is not visible on the screen?
Yes, checking, Your Lordship.
Sir, due to some technical glitch, PC 565 has joined from laptop also as well as phone. The audio is coming from phone, which is named as Komal Kalal. You can see them on camera on
PC 565.
PC 565.
Voice is coming from home.
Yes, you are received.
Your Lordship, am I audible now?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Your Lordship, much obliged. Good afternoon, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, in this case, I am counsel for the defense appearing on behalf of the accused person. Your Lordship, with your kind permission, may I move on my contention, please?
Now you are not audible.
Audible नहीं है.
You're not audible, sir.
Am I audible now?
Yes, now you are audible.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Your Lordship, with your kind permission, may I move on my contention, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Your Lordship, kindly see statement of jurisdiction at page 8 of the plaint of the prosecution. Your
First, you
Lordship,
let us know why they were apprehended with such a huge currency, counterfeit currency. What is the explanation for that? From where that currency has come? Are you
Sir,
admitting
that
the position of the currency?
yes, sir, Your Lordship, that currency was given to both the persons by the Sohail, accused 5, at the residence of the Kalu Mama, according to the charge sheet. But that is not true, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, may I proceed further?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, present plaint of prosecution is not maintainable because this Honorable Session Court of Delhi has no jurisdiction to try this case and to take cognizance of this case. Your Lordship, in this case, on 25th February...
Why are you saying so? These people were apprehended in Delhi at the railway station with a counterfeit currency. Only Delhi Special Court will have the jurisdiction. How you support your argument on this point?
Your Lordship, kindly, Your Lordship, in this case, I would like to say that these both the accused persons were arrested by the police under section 489B and 489C of the IPC, and both these offences are specified as scheduled offences under the schedule of the NIA Act 2008. That's why, Your Lordship, section 13 of the NIA Act 2008 says that the scheduled offences specified in the NIA Act schedule are can only be tried by the special court constituted by the central government, that is special court of NIA, Your Lordship.
May I proceed now, sir? Your Lordship?
Yes, yes, go ahead, go ahead.
Your Lordship, in this case, on 25th February, Special Cell Delhi Police arrested Samir, that is accused number 1, and Mono, that is accused number 2, under sections 489B, 489C, and 120B of the IPC, after recovery and seizure of 250 high-quality fake Indian currency notes in denomination of rupees 2000 having total face value equivalent to rupees 5 lakhs from the black color bag of Samir, that is accused number 1, and similarly 250 fake Indian currency notes in denomination of rupees 2000 having total face value equivalent to rupees 5 lakhs from maroon color bag of Mono, that is accused number 2, in general coach number 2 of Farakka Express train on its arrival at Old Delhi railway station on 25th February 2015 at 10:55 hours. Your Lordship, offences under section 489B and 489C of IPC are specified as scheduled offences at serial number 8B of the schedule of the NIA Act 2008. Your Lordship, therefore, investigation of this case, that is FIR number 15/2015, registered by the Special Cell Delhi Police, was transferred by the central government, that is Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs, under Section 6 of the NIA Act 2008, vide their order number 26/2015, dated 30th April 2015, which is enclosed by the NIA as Exhibit 5 at page number 46 of the charge sheet, which may kindly be seen. Your Lordship, subsection 1 of section 13 of the NIA Act 2000 clearly says that, notwithstanding anything contained in the CRPC 1973, every scheduled offence investigated by NIA should be tried only by the special court constituted under section 11, as the case may be, under section 22 of the NIA Act 2008, within whose local jurisdiction the scheduled offences was committed. Your Lordship, in this case, the offences were also committed under section 183 of the CRPC, because any offence which is committed on journey or voyage are triable by the court within whose jurisdiction they are prosecuted or they are detained. Your Lordship, therefore, this honorable court has no jurisdiction to try this case. Your Lordship, therefore, this plaint of prosecution is liable to be dismissed with exemplary cost. Your Lordship, with your kind permission, may I would like to move on to the issues raised by the prosecution in the present place.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me how you are disapproving the case of the prosecution. Apart from these technical issues about the jurisdiction, section 183 will not come into the picture. Come to the facts of the case, how you are disapproving the facts of the prosecution case, which have been proved by them about the recovery of this counterfeit currency, about their apprehension, how you are coming out of that.
Yes, Your Lordship, I have covered all these points in my further contention. May I proceed?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, in the present plaint, the prosecution has raised 3 issues as issue number 1.
This is not in a plaint. Listen to me. This is not a plaint. It's a criminal case, not the civil pleadings. These are the complaint and allegations. No facts, okay. No plaint.
Your Lordship. Your Lordship, the prosecution has raised 3 issues as issue number 1, whether the accused are liable under sections 120B and 201 of the IPC. Your Lordship, issue number 2 raised by the prosecution is whether the accused persons, namely Samir A1, Mono A2 and Kalu alias Mama A3 are liable for offences under section 489B and 489C of the IPC. And the third issue is whether the accused are liable under sections 16, 17, 18 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Your Lordship, as the core issue in this case is recovery of aforesaid high quality fake Indian currency notes from the bags of accused Samir and Mono on 25th February 2015. Your Lordship, therefore, with your kind permission, firstly, may I move on the issue number 2 of the prosecution?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, issue number 2 of the prosecution is that whether the accused persons, namely Monu and Kalu, are liable for offences under section 480 and 489C of the IPC. Your Lordship, it is humbly contended that accused Samir and Monu and Kalu are not liable for commission of offences under section 489B and 489C of the IPC because section 489B of the IPC contemplates that the offender must sell to any other person or must buy or must receive from any other person or he must otherwise traffic in or must use as genuine any forged or counterfeit currency note or bank note. He must do so with the knowledge or having reason to believe that the same is forged or counterfeit. Your Lordship, in the case of Veeraswamy Shanmugam Sundaram versus State of Andhra Pradesh, decided by the Honorable Andhra Pradesh High Court in 2001, it was held that since the accused had neither knowledge that the note was counterfeit, nor had the intention to make use of them. Therefore, his conviction was not proper. Your Lordship,
Just hold on for a moment. Just let me know. First of all, are you admitting that this currency was recovered from you people? Secondly, from where you got this money? You drew it from your bank of account. You borrowed it from some of your friends. What is your explanation about this currency?
Your Lordship, this currency was recovered from the bags of the Samir and Mono, and when Your Lordship, you kindly see the prosecution, defense witnesses 1 and defense witnesses 2's statement recorded under section 161 of CRPC, they under their free will.
What did they say?
Yes, Your Lordship.
What did they say?
They said that they had no knowledge that they are containing in their bags any thing, whether it is a fake currency or not. They were only asked by the.
Then just hold on. Then when they were apprehended, when they were interrogated, did they inform the police to whom these bags belongs to? Whether they took the police to those persons to whom the bags belongs to? Because you will have to explain. It's not in a small amount. 5 lakhs rupees from each person, counterfeit currency in the cavity. You will have to explain. You will have to prove it contrary. So what is your explanation?
Your Lordship,
will help you once you admit the possession. If you say, okay, you withdrew it from the bank and thereafter you were not aware of the fact these are the counterfeit currency.
Your Lordship,
will led by you to show, okay, you procured this money from A, B, C, D source.
Your Lordship,
you led to this effect.
Indeed, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, in this regard, I would like to contend that the accused persons were not aware whether they are having these currency notes. They admitted this only in the police custody, but they under their free voluntary statements recorded under section 161 of CRPC, they did not confess. They said they were only asked by the Kalu that they have to carry these bags from Malda to Pulwama. Only they were acting as the courier service or postman. They did not know what was having in these bags.
What was the consideration for them to carry those bags from Malda to Pulwama?
Your Lordship, pardon, Your Lordship.
What was the consideration for them to carry those bags from Malda to Pulwama?
Why
Their
did they carry the
consideration was
bags?
just their consideration was just they were asked to pay some amount to raise their youth organization. They wanted only to for upliftment of peoples of oppressed peoples of West Bengal, because they had no any criminal intention. They were acting just to raise money. Their background is not tainted, Your Lordship. They were only acting as courier just for raising money for their youth organization, whose member they were.
No, this is not stated in statement under section 161 that you were working for this youth organization. You were raising funds for you carried these bags only for the purpose of money. This is not stated in statement under 161.
Your Lordship,
And
they
it-
have stated, kindly
Yes.
see page numbers 53 and 54 of the charge sheet, Your Lordship. They have stated. May I read?
Now come to statement under section 161, DW1. You are stating so, no?
DW1, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Your Lordship,
Yes.
DW1 stated that in his statement under section 161 of CRPC that I am Samir, residing at Malda, West Bengal, and a driver by profession. I was 10-year-old when I lost my father and mother in road accident, and from then onwards I have been brought up by Chunnilal, father of Monu. I stayed there till 2011, and then I and Monu started searching for work. I got the work as a driver to a big businessman. Everything was going very well. Sometimes Monu came to me my office place, and in lunchtime we roam in my sub cars. It was a great fun. On 25th September 2013, the annual All India Conference of Youth Union took place, in which I also participated. There I came to know about the propaganda of government of suppressing the oppressed class of the society. After attending the annual conference, I got a clear vision of government's hidden agenda behind imposing sanctions on poor class. Government wanted to divide youths in different regions and caste. Me and Monu were afraid of losing each other and that government could continue with their double standard policies of belonging of the oppressed class. I was interested with the work of raising funds, Your Lordship, raising funds, sensitizing people against the malpractices of government towards particular group of the society, and conducting skill development training program in order to empower villagers residing nearby. For this, my first job was to figure out those people in the institution who can help me out of the successful conduction of project, where I met Kalu Mama, a good friend of mine. Iqbal Khan introduced me to him. In the array of completing the project, me, Mono, and Kalu started spending time together more often. Within a span of few months, we developed good relationship. Everything was on track and seemed to be honky and dory. Then one day, Kalu Mama told us about our project, in which we need to carry a bag from one place to another and handed over it to Peter. That was accused number 4, who was died because of poisoning, whose death cause was suicide. I and Mono didn't know that in bag we are carrying a fake currency notes. As and when train reached Old Delhi railway station, police station, me and Monu, we didn't do anything wrong. And after saw many policemen, I and I felt unconscious. Your Lordship, they were innocent because Section 489B and 489C of C that they must use it as the genuine currency notes. Your Lordship, I have mentioned a case in which the Honorable Court has held that if any fake currency note found in the possession of any person and he is not using that as genuine, or he has no intention to use it as genuine note, genuine, then he is not liable under section 489B and 489C of IPC, Your Lordship. Therefore, they are not liable for offences under section 489B and 489C. Your Lordship, may I move on my further contention, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Your Lordship, with your kind, excuse me, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, in the case of Karm Kanju versus State, decided by Honorable Kerala High Court in 1972, it was held that Section 489B of IPC was not attracted as the intention of accused was not to pass counterfeit note as counterfeit note was to pass counterfeit note as counterfeit note and note as genuine notes, as is contemplated by section 489B of IPC. Your Lordship, further in the case of Abdul Majid Abdul Rahman versus State of Maharashtra, this is decided by the Honorable Bombay High Court that mere possession of forged or counterfeit currency notes would not be sufficient to presume that accused used it knowing that it was counterfeit. So accused was not guilty under section 489B of the IPC. Your Lordship, further section 489C of IPC states that whoever has in possession of any forged or counterfeit currency note.
Your time is over.
Your Lordship, would you like to extend my time, please?
Whether you are
For 5 minutes.
the other participant,
For 5 minutes,
would you also
Your
like to address your co-participant, whether you wish to address?
To whom, Your Lordship?
Whether your co-participant he wish to address.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Lordship.
Let that co-participant take over you. We will hear him also.
Your Lordship. Much obliged to Your Lordship.
Speaker 2, you may proceed with the permission of the judges.
Yes, please go ahead.
Your Lordship.
Yes.
With your kind permission, now may I move on the issue number 3 of the prosecution?
Yes.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, issue number 3 of the prosecution is that whether the accused are liable under section 16, 17 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Your Lordship, it is humbly contended that in this case, prosecution of offences by the prosecution under section 16, 17 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 is invalid ab initio from very beginning. The prosecution has not obtained mandatory previous sanction of the central government or state government under section 45 of the Unlawful Activities Act 1967 for prosecution of offences under 16, 17 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 in this case. Therefore, this Honorable Court may not take cognizance of any of these offences. Clause 2 of subsection 1 of the Your Lordship, section 45 of Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 says that no court shall take cognizance of any offence under chapter 4, that is section 15 to 23, without the previous sanction of the central government or, as the case may be, the state government. Your Lordship, further subsection.
The sanction is already there. Sanction is already there. Sanction was given by the central government. and the relevant provision of the UAP Act has been invoked by the help of the conspiracy. So how you get out of it?
No, Lordship, there is no sanction.
Now there is a sanction. Sanction is there. Very much sanction is there.
Because there is no exhibit with the charge sheet.
It has been given exhibit also.
Your Lordship, thus the prosecution has violated subsection.
This is exhibit 5. Government of India, Ministry of Home Affairs. Sanction is there. This is dated 30th of April 2015. And what you
No,
have to say about their connect with the co-accused through their mobile phones?
Pardon, Lordship.
I said what you have to say the connection of all the accused persons through their mobile phones. Because the prosecution is using those CDR to infer conspiracy among the accused persons.
They are communicating with each other with their cell phones.
Yes.
For their courier.
Tell your co-participant not to tell you what to say, how to say. Your co-participant is prompting you.
Your Lordship, I would like to pass it to my co-speaker.
That is not permissible. That is not permissible. He can now come in rebuttal only.
May I proceed, Your
Yes.
Lordship?
Yes, yes.
Your Lordship, thus the prosecution has violated subsection 1 of section 45 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Thus the prosecution of accused persons, namely Samir, Monu and Kalu, alias Mama, in this case under section 16, 17 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 is invalid. Therefore, accused persons are not liable for offences under section 16, 17 and 18 and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967. Your Lordship, it is humbly contended that Samir and Monu and the Kalu not liable for commission of offence under section 489B and 489C of the IPC. Section 489B using as genuine foreign and or counterfeit currency notes or bank notes. Whoever says to or buys or receives from any other persons or otherwise traffics in or uses as genuine any foreign or counterfeit currency note or bank note, knowing or having reason to believe. Your Lordship, we would have to move on our rebuttal.
Okay. Court master, whether the prosecution side, whether they wish to say anything in rebuttal.
Your Lordship.
Just hold on for a minute because prosecution, they started their argument. In case they wish to add anything, in case they don't want to say anything, then you can come.
Yes, yes, Your Honor. We have 1 minute reserved for rebuttal, and I would like to state some points with your permission.
Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor, the defense has contended that the case is not maintainable before the learned court. But Your Honor, it is very important to note that this is the final stage of the argument, and there's no point of discussing the maintainability now. Your Honor, furthermore, Section 6 of the National Investigation Agency Act cannot vitiate the jurisdiction of this learned court, as well as the jurisdiction could overlap, but the special court is dedicated to address these issues here. Furthermore, Your Honor, the case was directed to NIA, and the charge sheet has been submitted in front of the special court, Your Honor. Your Honor, secondly, also, I would like to comment on the issue regarding 196 and how sanctions were taken. Your Honor, I would like to peruse to the section 114 of the Indian Evidence Act, where the court can presume existence of certain facts that the individuals are trying to wage war against the state, and henceforth they are liable under section 121 and 123 of IPC. Furthermore, Your Honor, the accused have not been apprehended just on the basis mere possession of the fake Indian currency notes. there was a whole conspiracy behind it, which was discovered after the investigation by NIA and the Special Cell Police. Your Honor, furthermore, defenses tried to mislead the court by mentioning molded facts in their favor. There are certain elements which were screened by the defense side. Rest all, Your Honor, I think everything has been covered by me and my co-prosecutor, and we rest our case here. Much obliged.
Defense, whether you wish to add anything?
Yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship. Your Lordship. I would like to contend that Your Lordship, I would like to contend that the prosecution has approached this Honorable Sessions Court of Delhi and under the provisions of CRP, whereas they just misled the court because they have because this Honorable Court has no jurisdiction to try this case, because this can only be tried by the special court that is of NIA constituted under the NIA Act under section 11. Your Lordship, because Your Lordship, notwithstanding anything in CRP, just section Your Lordship, because section 13 provides jurisdiction to only to the NIA court. That's why this the prosecution is any offense or any prosecution is liable to be dismissed with heavy cost.
Anything else? Apart
Your
from
Lordship,
apart from the
Your Lordship, Your Lordship, my prayer. That's why my humble prayer is that Your Lordship, with your kind permission, may I move on my prayer, please?
Yes, yeah, please go ahead.
Your Lordship, therefore, in the light of issued raised arguments advanced and authorities cited, it is most humbly prayed by the prosecution before this honorable court to please as judge and hold that acquit Samir, that is accused number 1, Mono accused number 2, and Kalu Mama accused number 3 of the offences under section 120B, 489B, 489C, section 121, section 123, and section 201 of the IPC, and under section 16, 17, 18, and 20 of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967 as amended by Act 35 of 2008, and or pass any other order it may deem fit in the interest of justice, equity, and good conscience. Your Lordship, all of which is most humbly and respectfully submitted. Thank you, Your Lordship.
Okay. So the hearing is concluded.
Yes, Your Lordship.
If my co-judge has any query, then it is always welcome. Otherwise, the hearing is concluded.
All the speakers did very well, and all the best for your future. Good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So both the
Thank
team
you,
can
Lordship.
leave the meeting now and can wait for the results. And judges can stay and discuss about the case if they want.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, judges.
And
Much obliged.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Judge. Much obliged
Okay.
in your leadership.
Sunita ji, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alpna ji. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yogesh sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice experience. Nice experience.
सर आपने अपना समय दिया, यही हमारे लिए बहुत है, और बच्चे एंजॉय किए हैं, मैं ऐसा फील कर पा रही हूँ. एंड रियली यू हैव डन गुड होमवर्क आल्सो. हमारी कोर्ट मास्टर ने बताया कि आपने बहुत एंजॉय करके सेशन को कंप्लीट कराया है.
नहीं, मैं कल आपने जो मैनेजर को मैंने बोला था, ये आपकी जो डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है वो ठीक नहीं है। जो आपने DW1, PW1, evidence is not complete unless or until the cross examination also there.
Actually,
So
sir,
there are basic flaws and we cannot tell them.
यस सर। सर एक्चुअली क्या हुआ था, जो स्लॉट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स थे उन्होंने कुछ कमियां इसमें जानबूझ के रखी हुई।
नहीं, वो तो पता है लॉ के अगेंस्ट है मैडम। That is against the law. Evidence is not complete unless or until the witness is subject to the cross
Yes,
examination.
absolutely, sir.
और 161 को हम एज ए DW यूज कर रहे हैं, that is also incorrect.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was incorrect, sir. Yes.
तो हमने अगर उनको पढ़ाना है तो हम उनको सही लॉ तो बताएं कि हाँ जी एविडेंस की हाँ, तो थोड़ा उसको अगर टेक करके रहेगा तो ज्यादा, बिकॉज वी वर आल्सो इन डालीमा,
Yes.
मैडम सुनीता इज आल्सो नॉट रॉन्ग,
Yes, yes.
वी वर आई एम आल्सो इन द डालीमा कि हम उनको
Yes.
बोले कि आप गलत बोल रहे हो, सही बोल रहे हो, कि डिस्क्लोजर है।
स्लॉट कोऑर्डिनेटर्स आप जैसे लॉयर्स को कांटेक्ट करेंगे और प्रॉपर ब्रीफ तैयार करके तभी आगे फॉरवर्ड करेंगे
वो
सर।
बेटर रहेगा स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी, क्योंकि इनके लिए तो फर्स्ट स्टेपिंग स्टोन है।
यस
क्योंकि ये एक्सपीरियंस है, आगे वो इसी तरह से चलेंगे, आगे जब कोर्ट में आके देखेंगे तो बोलेंगे ये तो बिल्कुल ही लगे।
यस
तो
सर।
गुड कोर्ट का जो हैगा ना, जो फंक्शन वो फ्रस्ट्रेट हो जाएगा।
यस सर, एब्सोल्युटली सर। Thank you so much, sir, for devoting your precious time with the students and with us, sir. Thank you so much, Sunita ji.
Thank you, Asma ji. Thank you.
थैंक यू।
And sir, madam, marking performer has been sent to you through email and WhatsApp.
अभी मैडम करके व्हाट्सएप कर दूंगा मैं तो
Thank
5
you,
मिनट।
sir. Thank you so much.
Okay.
ओके, थैंक यू।
Sir is right. Legal lacuna तो है ही